The Patriot is actually a grown-up Minuteman or a Minuteman on steroids. It's got the same features as a Minuteman, my compartmentation, my gin set, but this truck here is now carrying from 850 to 1,500 gallons. This particular truck, we're carrying 1,500 gallons. Now we've got a tandem truck carrying 1,500 gallons. The purpose for that is, if you use a tandem and a front axle, just a drag front axle, I will go approximately the same distance you will with a four-wheel drive with the same weight, with a single wheel. Now if you put it into a 6x, then it's there. What we're going after is flotation. Using the tandem here, we're doing flotation. Approximately, we've got about 4,000 pounds of weight per tire. We've got this truck equaled out, so the truck has 4,000 pounds, its foot pressure on the ground per tire. The dual pump system is the main difference in this truck versus the Minuteman. We'll demonstrate the dual pumps and what's the capability of them doing in fighting fire. There's four major positives on the dual pump. One is cost. We can put this pump in here and maintain it for about half the cost. Maintenance. Anybody that works on lawnmowers, Briggs & Stratton lawnmowers, is able to work on the engine of this pump. User-friendly. Can you run a lawnmower? Same thing with running this pump. It's basically a throttle, all there is. The next size pump up, which is twice the cost, but the performance is almost exactly the same as this deal. We got to overhaul this little diesel. It's a little 3-cylinder diesel. The first part is, who are you going to get to work on it? Who's qualified to work on that diesel? Okay, the rebuild kit on that diesel is the same price as I can buy this entire pump for. So what you're trying to say, I'm trying to say here, I can completely destroy this pump and have it back in this truck ready to run for the same cost as you're going to overhaul that diesel. Plus, while I'm waiting on this pump to get fixed, whatever it is, since I'm running two pumps, this truck is still in service. I have my other pump. And again, we're going to demonstrate this while we're spraying the water. The Patriot's gin set is up here. The Minuteman's down low. Now, if we had an extended cab or a four-door cab, there's times we'll set the generator here. Say we don't have the gin set, we will move the reel down so it's ground level. So what we'll do is we'll just reverse these down, bring it down, if you take the gin set option here. If you're going to run this as a structure truck or first response type of truck, this is a very, very valuable commodity. When half our calls are at night, we're going to light the night up. Our compartmentation. Another feature that can be incorporated in this truck. This truck is primarily an interface truck. Number one, it's an interface truck. What's interface mean? Basically, we can fight structure, wildland in the country. It's a wildland truck design. We designed to fight the wildlands. We're doing the tandem and stuff. We can fight structure, you know, our structure firefighting. Now, we're carrying 1,500 gallons of water. We can put a quick dump in here and we can use it as a tanker or a tender. Okay, now we got three deals. Wildland, first response, rescue truck, structure truck, and now a tender. It's covered all four bases with this truck. On the crosslays, the system we got set in here so we can ride this truck is we set it back. We've got the grip strut here. We don't want to drag our hose over this. So we designed this door, you lift it up and pull it and it folds down. Gives me my access to my crosslay. Notice that I'm not going over the top of my grip strut. To shut the door, you basically bring it up, slam it in, set it down. On the bumper grill guard for this particular model truck, it's a Kenworth. We've removed the bumper and we made a bumper out of 4x8 by 1/4 inch tubing. So if you hit something, it gives us the protection to protect our front end. Also, there's a stop right in here, so if you hit the outside edge, this doesn't flex in here. We're trying to protect this. On our front monitor, we're trying to protect our front monitor. Now this is a tilt hood. We have to be able to get into this compartment. So we pull a safety pin, pull up pins here. We're going to lower down our front bumper on a grill guard. Now, this gives us full access to the truck. Again, when you're done, shut your bumper, bring your grill guard up, lock it in, and pin your sides. I am not a real big fan of a front monitor unless you have over 1,000 gallons a minute, because with a man back there riding the truck, I will put out 3 times more fire with 1/3 the water using just a monitor. The reason for that is we're bringing our gallonage up. We're having to hit our head fire and do our overhaul all in one sweep. So you got to really bring your gallonage up, and it's using a lot of water. Okay, if we incorporate the sweeps into this picture here, which we're going to pump out approximately not quite 20 gallons, and then we drop down our monitor to 30 gallons a minute, which is now 50 gallons a minute. Using the monitor and the sweeps, we're getting a real good knockdown and overhaul with a one-pass scenario, with a one-man solution. I still feel the man riding on a hand nozzle really cleans up the picture here. Now, in a structure situation, we crawl up and we fire up both pumps, left and right. This will give us 120 gallons a minute at roughly about 120 psi. And what I'm going to demonstrate here is, say we're in a structure fire and we lose a pump. We are still all right to fight the fire. We're going to drop down. We're going to maintain our 120 gallons a minute on each nozzle, but our pressures are going to drop down to probably about 70 pounds on there. Okay, there's 2 pumps. Okay, kill. 1 pump. 1 pump. Notice here, we still have our GPMs. What we have lost is our pressure. We still have our reach. We've lost maybe 5 feet. Okay, 2 pumps. There we go. Our increase of our reach is approximately only 10 feet. Put them to fog. Bring them to fog. Full fog. Full fog. Okay, see our pattern with both pumps? Okay, 1 pump. We still got a good pattern. It's just not quite as fine with it. Okay, straight stream it. Okay, a reach. Now hold them steady. Just hold them steady. Right there. 2 pumps. We've increased our reach approximately 5 feet. Okay, on this demonstration, this truck is equipped with a calf line. We're going to keep this man with straight water with a foam solution. This will have calves. Now, in a foam solution, we got to make a foam water. So this nozzle will have foam solution in it. We're going to run 0.5%. We're going to run 2 pumps. Then I'm going to shut them off. In fact, we're going to run 2 pumps, and then I'm going to kill 1 pump to prove that it doesn't mess with this system. Any other system cannot take this fluctuation of water pressure that we're going to be doing here, opening and closing lines. It's not going to bother this. I'm going to have this man opening and closing the line, while this guy continues to run casts, opening and closing his lines. Okay, 1 pump. Notice my cast line doesn't bother it. Kill this line. It doesn't bother it. Open that line. Doesn't bother it. Close it. On a regular system, I am messing with my water pressure. We have got 1 pump running. And there's my calf system running in here. So you can open and close. Okay, open and close your calf line. Open, close, open, close. Keep running. Okay, now do you reach? Open it up. What we're demonstrating here, our front monitor allows us to hit our head fire, has us to control. Then we're overhauling with our sweep as we're coming along here at the truck. This gives me my knockdown, this gives me my overhaul. By putting the sweep and the monitor together, I feel that the monitor is actually going to be used this time now. I do not like remote control front monitors because they waste too much water, because we're trying to overhaul and knock the head fire down one shot. By doing the sweep and the monitor, it allows us to decrease our gallonage on our monitor so we can knock down our head fire, and then do the overhaul with the sweep on the truck to truly make it a one-man operation. But I still feel the man on the nozzle will put out 3 times more fire in a situation, but on a one-man fire, this system works good. Okay, the truck I want to talk about today is a Patriot. It's a B65. It's got a Cummins engine into it. It's got a 750 gallon Hale pump behind the engine. Also, it has a 200 CFM air compressor for my calves. We have 4 outlets that's designed on calves. We got my front bumper, we got my rear crosslay, and we got a front crosslay on this. Also with this here truck, we have an auto fill, which allows me to run it here. We also have a manual fill where I can run it from here. This is my gen set where I can start and stop, my gen set. This is my compressor control, my foam system, my pressure governor, my tank water fit level, and also my foam level. With this particular truck here, I am able to control all these controls, my foam system, my pressure governor, and the start and stop from inside the cab. I can go in the cab, that way it gives me capability. As I'm rolling up like a car fire, I can fire my pump up, bring it up to pressure, turn on my foam system, and hit it with my front gun. Now my front gun has straight water capability. Also, it has cast capability. It depends on which lever, how we have this thing set up. Okay, to get this to run, like we're going to fire calves off, I turn on my switch here, I start my pump, I turn on my foam system. My foam system is setting itself up. Now I'll come over here and hit my mode on my pressure governor. That allows me to build up and then hit my preset. Now it's going to automatically build my pressure. This will take care of itself. I'm not going to mess with this at all. Now I'm going to try to talk up a little bit louder and talk over this engine. Okay, all I have to do to operate this cast system is just open the valve. I don't do anything else, open the valve. The light is on, it's telling me I've got a cast system. If my pressure or my pump changes, whatever, it doesn't make it any difference. It's all a manual system. I just shut it off. I can open it up. It does not mess with this cast system. Okay, I can go to full flow. Well, I'm just doing straight water. Then I can bring my cast line onto it. Now we're really putting the water out there. We're pumping roughly 750 gallons a minute. Okay. Shut off my full flow, now we're just straight cast. So I have the capability of choosing. As far as trying to set my pressures and equal out with the rest of my system, I do not have to mess with it. We've got to get this system and make sure it's easy to operate. Here's my tank, open and close. Now you notice the red light has just gone out on my autofill. Well, see, my tank's down just a little bit. When there's no light on, that's telling me the valve is in between its opening or closing mode. Because right now, it's sitting there sensing what's going in here. When it's fully open, the green light will come on. When it's fully closed, the red light will come on. So it's running, and you can also operate to here. I'm done with the system. I just hit my idle button, and I'm ready to operate again. One of the things at Blanchat Manufacturing we really pride ourselves in is quality and detail and workmanship. For instance, this door, it's very balanced. Just one hit of the door, it clips, it lays open and folds out of your way. To close it, just close it. It's completely out of my way. I open it, it accesses my nozzle. We got capabilities of carrying 200 feet of hose in here. We've got only a 50-foot section of hose. My control to this now is right here. The way the controls of this thing is, we've got the pump panel preset. I've got the calves lever open. I can operate that line from here at the bumper. Okay, I'm going to charge you back up. Or I can operate it at the pump panel. This gives me my capability. As a rule, I carry this open all the time. That way, as we come up on a car fire, we just pull it and open it up and attack the fire. How do you get this calves out? See how the hose is blown up and stuff? A lot of manufacturers tell you to blow it out with air. Under no circumstances do I ever want to get just straight air into this hose, because what that can do, if I can make it take straight air in that hose, that means I can walk into a fire with nothing but straight air. Okay, how do we get the calves out of the hose? Very simple. I shut off my calf lever, shut off my foam, and then I went just to straight water. Now I'm just going to run some straight water through it. Go ahead and open it up, Jimmy. All we got is straight water. We're going to blow the calves out. Okay, in this particular scenario, that propane tank up ahead of us, we're going to pretend that is on fire. We can pretend that's a car, a structure, whatever, but we're going to pretend that propane tank is on fire. Or we could protect that little building, the exposures. I have got this thing in the CAFS mode. All the controls I need to pump this truck is right here. This panel here is nothing but pump panel. Think of this as a pump panel. My emergency lighting and radios and stuff are right in here. Here's my communications, but my emergency scene lighting and stuff is right here. This is just purely a pump panel. So I've got a pump panel back there, and I have one here. In this pump panel, this particular switch, I switch it on, that turns on my ignition. I start my pump. There's my pressure right there. Now, while I'm doing this, I want to reach over here and I want to flip this switch right here. That turns on my foam system. I go over here and hit the mode button, turn on my pressure governor, and hit my preset. Now, we're ready to operate. This particular switch right here is the one that operates my front monitor. You flip that on, I've got my front monitor. There we are. Get my initial hit right here. Now, this gives me time to go out, get that pole, get the building. We're going to coat that building, that protects you of that spur and that deal there. Okay, now this gives me my time to go out and pull my line.